This is my interpretation of the Cloud Lamp project, as initially created by Instructables user Babylon5. It seemed like a really cool project, and I've had these old whiskey bottles laying around that were just too cool to throw away. I've been meaning to do some kind of project with them, and this is the perfect one. In case you haven't seen the Instructable, I've included a link to it in the description of this video. Essentially what happens is you fill up a glass container with water and add soap that contains the chemical glycol stearate or glycol distearate, and it produces these interesting clouds due to the convection currents inside the bottle when it's heated from below. Now the first thing anybody wants to know is, what kind of soap did you use? Well, like the author Babylon5 said, you want to find a hand soap that is fairly simple. It doesn't have any aloe or anything else like that. So you want to have the simplest soap you can get. Now this one worked well for me. This is soft soap with rich moisturizing shea butter beads. So it's got these little beads floating around in it, which I'm not sure I like, but they do actually work, as you can see. I also thought I'd try a shampoo that I found in the dollar store that had glycol distearate in it, but it was so full of moisturizers and repairers and this, that, and the other that the thing was just a fog. It didn't have any of the neat effect of the floating, so that didn't work for me. You might have to try a couple of brands, but this one worked for me. I've modified my project a little bit from the one used by Babylon5. It's a little bit more complicated, but I think it works pretty well. Like his, I've started with a 6-inch section of thick-walled 3-inch PVC pipe. I also added at the bottom a PVC toilet flange as a base so the project isn't very tippy. I used the same sort of cut-up mouse pad as a gasket, and on top of that I used a steel cover plate for an electrical box that's designed to accept a typical outlet. So it's strong steel, but it's got holes for the light and the heat to get through. I used a 25-watt frosted bulb because that was what it was available at the store at the time. And for my electrical system, I used a electrical socket with screw terminals, and for the cord I just used a cord off of a junk VCR I happened to have laying around. So this part of the project didn't cost me any money. Now, like I say, for the bottle I used this square whiskey bottle, which is why I decided to go with the terminal box cover so that this bottle would sit properly on top of the 3-inch pipe. If that wasn't there, it wouldn't sit properly. But the effect works pretty well. And another thing is, even at 25 watts, it illuminates a room very well, so it's good for a nightlight in a children's bedroom. Here's a close-up of the neck of the bottle. You can see that the cloud effect even works up in here in this bottle. And also, you might be able to see floating around a couple of those little shea beads I was talking about. I'm not sure if I like those in there. It kind of ruins the cloud effect, but apparently they're the same density as the cloud material, so it floats around inside the water, so it still moves with the currents. So it works, so I'm just going to keep them in there for now. Now the original Instructable used a round bottle. Now I'm using a square bottle, and I think that's cooler, because with a square bottle you can do this. That's pretty cool, huh? Here's another version of a lamp I made using a green glass wine bottle. I think because the bottom has that dimple in it, it focuses the light from the 25-watt bulb outward, so it doesn't really reach the top of the wine bottle. Just the bottom half is illuminated, but you can still see the cloud effects going around in here. Now I used 8 squirts of soap in each one of these bottles, and I think they both hold like 750 milliliters. So for 750 milliliters, 8 squirts, and you'll get the reaction that you need. So I hope this illuminates you and how to build one of these lamps, and I think it's a really cool thing to do. So cheers for now.